skiing on the glacier, and we'll see how the footage goes, but I'll play this. I think that's it there. Yeah, that's it.
And Ken, if you can just go on the other side.
Okay. Yeah, this is it. So we'll look at these guys here.
Sorry, Ken.
Yeah, I'll move in a second.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. So we filmed this Sunday up on the glacier, and we were working on big turns, and we were talking about steering, and that in expert skiing, the way to increase or improve somebody's steering is to get them to do what with the ski, you guys? Get them to
Edge it more.
edge more. And so how does edging more or tipping the ski up more on its side improve steering?
Yeah, the more you edge, the tighter the radius.
Tighter the radius, right? So the distance between the center of the ski and the surface of the snow is increased the more edge angle, and so the ski bends more. And then the radius gets tightened up. And so what do you have to do to effectively tighten the radius of a turn? Tony, do you know? So if I'm like this here,
You've got to increase everything, so you have to continue to move inside.
move inside, good. You got to move inside, yeah.
Get your hip inside.
Get the hip inside. So increase angulation. Yeah, so you increase angulation, and that gets the ski tipped up on its side. The ski has more bend to it, and the radius gets tightened up. That's why the guys, really good skiers, really great skiers, they sometimes get their hip right on the snow, still balanced on that outside ski with plenty of bend, and then the ski performs for them. So that was the topic matter, the subject matter of my session that day. And let's look at some of the guys and see how they did with this. Okay. Okay, so with that skier, do you guys see lots of hip angulation? Watch again, is there a lot of hip angulation there with that skier? Is his hip close to the snow? Easier
No.
question.
No.
Not that close to the snow.
He's doing that speed and that radius. It doesn't look like it's
Well, he was asked to go very fast, like expert radius, and to leave pencil lines. So he's trying to do that. He's trying to do what I asked. He's a good skier. So it should be, like, that's not bad, right? It's not a bad skier, level 3, ski instructor, pretty good skier. But, really, if he wants to get the skis tipped up more on their side, he's got to get this down there closer to the snow. When you watch him ski, a lot of his edging effort is made within the lower leg, the ankle and the knee, this way here. And to get the ski tipped up on its side, he should get the hip involved, so the hip comes down this way and then moves down here to the snow to get the skis tipped up on their side. The radius gets tighter. So knowing that, looking at that, what do you think this person needs to do in order to achieve that hip angulation and ski performance?
Get lower. I
It
think.
needs to get lower, yeah.
So you
Yeah.
can-
You
Yeah.
tell us a ski like steers low.
Sorry?
Steers low, like a steers around the turn.
Yeah.
Create that kind of angulation.
He's got to steer the ski around the turn more, and to do that he's going to have to do what? Angulate.
But that isn't steering what if you steer it down, create angulation.
You're close. It's actually, if you angulate, then you'll increase steering. So let me stop it here, and I want you guys to tell me something. Okay? So, looking at that shot, I stopped it in a place that he probably doesn't like it where I stopped it. But tell me about this person's stance. What is it about this person's stance? He's forward.
Femur is upright.
Good. He's forward. Good. So he's very straight here. He's very straight in this part of his leg and then flex that way. So someone that skis forward like that, I'll lean against the wall again here. Someone that skis forward here like this only has one choice to create edge, and that's doing that kind of a move with the ankle. For this person to get hip angulation, the person has to get more of a bend in the femur, get the hip a little bit in behind the feet, like this here, and then the person can move laterally, get the hip closer to the snow this way, and then they can get the skis tipped up on their side. Okay, as long as this person stands with the shin pressed forward, the femur quite straight, their only choice for edging is to use the legs this way. They can't involve the hip, and that means that the strength isn't quite there, and the ability to really work the ski, get the ski tipped up on its side is not as good as it could be. You see that, Michelle?
Yeah, I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna change position.
Okay, you see that, guys? See the way the skier stands? See the way the skier stands, hey? Okay, there you see the forward stance, the femur straight, your foot getting behind sometimes.
Do you want to sit here?
Is that okay?
Michelle?
Thanks. Sorry about that.
Okay. Okay, see it again, huh? Okay. Okay. Okay, does this person involve the hip more than the last person? Yeah, I would say so, huh? Okay. Okay, so the person's involving the hip. A little bit more. Okay. Okay, which side do you like better?
To the
Sorry?
left, turning to the left.
Side.
Want to see the other side?
Yeah.
That side's better. Why is that side better?
Because the other one was not inclined.
Yeah.
That's not
Good. So here, on the turn going to his right, he shows more angulation. There, he tips quite a bit, doesn't he? Like there and there, just some angulation that way. Here, whoop.
Exactly as I was told you.
Yeah. So because he tips his body inside, the ski runs away from him, doesn't it? Okay. So, so what's he got to do there? What should he be doing? You know, if I back it up maybe a hair or two here. Okay, so what should he be doing? How should he be moving here? So he's tipped in this way. How can you fix him up? What can you do to make this guy stand better on that side?
Still be a bit more patient on
Sorry?
Going to be more patient on that outside ski, like before
Okay.
he switches to that.
Okay, so you say timing.
Yeah.
He might be too anxious to go in there. Okay, that's good. I like that. Okay, where should he be right here?
You just have to drag his ball over against shoulders now.
Okay, so you want the shoulders more level.
Something like that.
Okay, good. So he's balanced a lot on the inside ski. He needs to balance more on the outside ski. So in here, when the foot's like this, where should he be? Where should his hands be going? If he's standing, he's on his right foot. So if he's like this and here like that, where should he really be going in order to be balanced? That way, right? So he should be going. You guys tell me when it's good here. Okay.
That's good.
This way, pretty close, hey? So he should be going, I don't want to fall over, but, okay, he should be going that way. All right, so what is it? When you make a turn, you put the skis on their side, and the ski goes through the arc like that, and there's forces created. So what ultimately should get you over the outside ski? What is it?
Gravity.
What's that?
Gravity, sure.
Forces, yeah, sure, maybe gravity or some forces in the turn should pull the skier to the outside ski. So in a sense, this skier is turning away from the forces and from the pull. He's disrupting the flow of the body down the hill. So he moves there, he does this away from the ski instead of turning the leg and getting pulled to the ski. And then watch here, this is a tricky question, but I want you to watch the run and tell me if there's another place where he kind of interrupts how the body flows down the mountain. Okay, I'll start it over again. Okay, can you guys see? He's doing what? You got your finger up, that's good.
Is he like coming, so as he's coming around, like he should be kind of going more kind of across this way.
Yeah,
He's actually
across the ski.
tipping,
Yeah, he should be going across the ski. So what this skier has to do is when the turn is going pretty good, he gets the ski tipped on its side. As the turn progresses like this, the forces pull him to the outside ski, which gives him angulation. And then when the base passes underneath this way, he should just continue on with the flow, with the pull of the forces like this, and then get on the new ski that way. So he disrupts the flow, he moves away from the ski a little bit on that side, and then when the base should pass under and he should go there, he backs away from where he's going. So looking at the skier, I quite like some of the stuff that he's doing down below, but he's really not understanding where he should be going with his body when he goes down the hill, and he hasn't learned quite yet how to use the forces in the turn to help him to balance and to help him flow from one turn to the next. Well, now why would that happen? Why would that happen right there?
Might be stood back in front of the ski stays out.
What's that?
If he stood back in front of the ski stays
Yeah,
out.
yeah, so he's moved away from where he's going, hasn't
It
it?
doesn't turn, does it?
Hasn't he done that? Yeah. Yeah, so what should happen is he should come here like this, through the turn this way, and then when the legs go there, he should continue on, moving into the new turn. And what he tends to do is move away from the ski, and then sometimes go back through the transition. That's not a very nice place to stop it, but I won't tell you who it is. Okay, pretty good turns there at the bottom, eh? Look here, pretty good turns. Once he gets that out of the system there, some angulation on that side, angles there. Okay. Okay, what kind of stuff could you do to help that skier out, do you think? Tony, what do you think?
I like the idea of the start of the turn, getting a platform.
Okay.
Feel the platform and then
Yep.
work with the forces.
And
rather
then
than
work with the
making
forces,
moves
yeah.
that Has no relevance to
Yeah.
to what you've got to
Yeah,
balance
cool.
against. So
Yeah, cool.
maybe just a
Just a turn like a,
garland type of turn.
yeah,
Balanced over the outside of a strong structure, and then practice moving in and resisting.
and then with the structure, yeah, with this, with the stable platform, yeah. Even something, you know, on a nice flat terrain, even something like this where the skier goes there and gets the hand, the outside hand down to the top of the ski boot, so that the person can get angulated and learn to stand on the ski rather than move away from the ski that way. Something like that would be good.
In fact, the two ends.
Sorry?
The two ends
Could
underneath,
go
yeah.
two hands,
The
yeah.
two ends
Could go
underneath, yeah.
two hands like on the outside knee, like
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Yeah, you know, you can take it right back to basics,
Well,
just like
it works so,
just like
yeah.
we teach every day with our snowplow people, hands on the outside knee like that. That
Yeah.
would help this skier, so because he moves away this way instead of moving that way.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
if you went two hands, it's a little tough. Have you tried that, Michelle?
Oh, yeah, well,
Two hands?
underneath.
Two hands on the outside
Yeah,
knee. Cool.
yeah, and you put your, let's say your downhill hands over the other one.
Here, like that.
Yeah, but over the other hands. This ends over the other,
Like
yeah,
that?
now you got it,
Oh, cool.
yeah.
Cool. And then you learn, you get angulation.
Oh,
You
yeah,
learn to balance with the forces as you go through the turn. Good one.
and also you have to do it in a way, in a smooth way with the turn.
Right, you gotta
When you,
time it right.
yeah, exactly.
Okay. Okay. So in this person's scheme, where was there kind of an angle missing? Like what does she need more of in here?
It's more inclined than,
Sorry?
it's more inclined than angulated out.
So she's inclined quite a bit. And do the skis look like they're tipped up enough on their side? Do the skis look enough on their side, or are they a little too flat on the snow? They seem a little too flat on the snow.
Slide it out a bit.
They're sliding out, yeah.
Mhm.
So where do you think, like what joint do you think she needs to involve more strongly in her skiing?
Certainly the,
What do you think, Michelle? Here, you can compare. That's her right leg.
yeah,
So you guys compare it. There, here's me. Okay, that's pretty good there. And there's her. So what joint?
yeah.
What?
She's, her left hips is too much forward.
Okay, so
This
she's
one,
a little
yeah,
bit
she's like that, yeah.
Okay. And what else? Look. Okay, look. See how straight she is in here? See how straight the leg is in there? Watch her all the way down now. I think she needs more knee involvement with the outside leg. Okay, she needs to get the knee involved. See there? Okay. So what does the turn shape look like? Okay, watch your turn shape. Okay.
Yeah, that's a, yeah.
Here's a question. If that pitch was longer, would she have picked up speed or reduced speed with the way she was skiing? She would have gone faster and faster, hey? Because the skier was having problems getting the skis tipped up on their side, like this, getting the skis tipped up on their side and steering through the turn. So you would want to teach this person to maybe do something like this, where they can get the skis on their edge. And if you're really smart and really experienced, you'll want this person to get the boots leveled. Because right now, when you see skiers that have that kind of bow
Yeah,
leg
that's
look,
an interesting, yeah.
you see the bow leg look?
You know, I think that's a very good point for, yeah, exactly. It's hard for her to go on
It's
edge.
hard for her to go on
On
edge.
edge, oh, yeah.
Michelle. That's, see, do you see
Oh,
that? Look. Okay, you can see that this leg is going out that way. That knee's going out that way. This knee is actually going in there. I think she's using the inside ski to help her to start, get the turn started. She's actually, because there's not enough edge on the outside ski, she's going like that with the inside ski to help get the turn started, and then she gets that bow-legged look. Coincidentally enough, I had some wedges in my pocket. Do you know what wedges are? Little plastic things you get from the shop. And I just put 1.5 degrees wedges on her bindings to tip her knees in. So if I go high side out with the wedge, it tips her knees in like this, and it really changed her skiing very quickly. And she went, and her comment was, "This is so much easier like this." So I told this person to go to the shops and get measured. They have a tool that measures the alignment of the boots, and I'm pretty sure that she needs to have the boots canted in this way so her knees move in, and then when she starts the turn, she can turn her leg, and she's got the knee in the right spot, and she's got strength on that inside edge of the downhill ski, and then doesn't get a look like that on the skis. If I was teaching her in a lesson, and you guys going on your level 3 course, like something like this, like anything like that, where the legs get turned in and the knees get involved in the creation of the edge angle, I would take that approach with this person skiing. Yeah, it's pretty tough, you know, to fix that skiing. If your alignment's off, it's really hard to get better. So if you haven't had that checked, go get it done. And once you have it lined up properly, then as soon as you get on a pair of boots that aren't quite right, you know immediately that they're not right. So I think that's the case there. Okay. So again, you look at it. So we're looking at expert skiing. How is the speed for you guys? How's the speed? Let me ask another question. Simple question. Does this skier look like he's rotating some? The hips coming around,
Yep.
okay? And so when you look, it's interesting that we just had the last skier who showed skiing without much knee angulation. What does this person show a lot of? Knee angulation. Now look at the angle here. Look at the angle here in the knee. So the way this person is trying to, he knows that to tighten the radius that he's got to get the ski tipped up on its side. So his mechanism for tipping the ski on its side is to do what? It's to move the knee in. So what happens to my hip when I move the knee in too much? It twists, yeah, it rotates. So what this guy has to learn to do is use less knee and more hip angulation. Stuff that we did after I shot this video is we went on really flat terrain, and I tried to get this skier to see how close to the snow he could get his hips. And if you drive the knee like that, what can't you do? You can't get the hip down, can you? If you drive the knee like this, you're stuck. You're stuck over the feet. You can't get the hip down. So we skied around like this, and I tried to get him to affect the edge by going like that with his hip, and taking the hip and moving the hip down to the snow and getting the skis tipped up on their side. I made him also aware that there should be a little bit of space in there. You shouldn't have that kind of a thing going on with your knees, because that locks you up and will rotate you, like that. And then we did this thing just while we were watching the video. I had this person lean against the table like this, lean against the table like that, and then put the feet on their side like this, and then try and sit down on the bench without affecting the angle of the feet. So try and sit down like that. Whoop. And when you sit down like that, you want to get both sides of your bum on the seat, but keep the feet the same. So what can't I do when I'm in this kind of a position? What can't I do? Rhymes with the knee drive. Right? I can't go like that with my knees. See the difference? This here with the knee versus that with the hip.
Yeah.
Okay. I do it in the summer too. Sometimes. Have you ever seen that? Have you ever done this where you sit against a wall like that? So you sit against a wall, and then your legs get really strong like this. Well, try doing the wall sit instead of like with your feet pointing that way. Try and do the wall sit like that, where you put your feet on their side. Can you see that, Michelle?
Oh, yeah.
Feet on their side, and then take your hip and move your hip against the wall that way. And try and do a wall sit like that, so that you've got the twist in the knee or in the leg, and you're in a position where if you were skiing, you can lower the hip to the ground and increase the edge angle. What do you think is stronger? Is creating edge with your knees, creating edge like this with your knees, or creating edge with your hip? Which is stronger? The second one, eh?
Yeah.
The hip, because you're using the big muscles, you're using your core, your glutes, your quads. Okay. Oh, sorry. Cool. Okay, here's a young guy who's a pretty good skier. He's got something going on in his head that he's trying to do. What do you think he's trying to do with his skiing? He's pretty good at angulating, would you say? He gets good angulation there. Okay, so what happened? What was he trying to do that caused that?
Was he really trying to
What's that?
was he trying to really call his skis around?
He's trying to angulate too much?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really trying to get that,
Yeah,
those
okay.
pencil lines in the snow.
He was trying to force it inside, and there was too much inside. Outside skis, so
Okay. Uh-oh. Cool. Okay, that's awesome. Oh, he's alive! And that's his run. So, okay, so for you young guys out there, look, he almost fell up there. Okay, so he's trying to touch the snow, right? And I know that he just watched some cool skiing video where a guy was skiing down, a very good skier, I don't know his name, and was getting his hip to touch the snow on every turn. So, so what is this person putting down every turn? What part of his body is he trying to get close to the snow?
His hand.
His hand, yeah, he's trying to get his hand close to the snow. I think we call those knuckle draggers. He's trying to get his hand close to the snow. So if I put my hand close to the snow, what's going to happen here to my hip? It goes out, eh? Like I can't, so he's like this here, like that. This is going to be tricky. I might fall over. But he's like this here, and he's trying to get this hand to the snow, so when he moves the hand down that way, what happens to his hip?
It takes a
Yeah, it rotates and comes up like that. So that puts the weight on which ski? Inside ski, right? Okay. And that's why he falls over. You can see the angle. Look at the hand angle. Oh my goodness. Look at how steep that is. This hand is way down here near the snow. That hand is way up in the air. So he's tipped a lot inside. And then, look, there he goes again. See, way in there, way in there. Okay. There we go. Oh my goodness. Uh-oh. And there's what happened as a result. So what part of this body should he be trying to get close to the snow? The hip, right? You don't go like that with the hand. You want to get the hip close to the snow. So you want to move here like this. Oh, sorry. And go down. You want your hip, once you've created, you turn the skis like this or edge the skis, whatever you've decided to do, you create separation, and then to increase the edge, you move the hip down towards the snow. And then some people are really good at it, and given the right ski equipment and the right snow conditions, the right steepness, people can actually get their hips to touch way down there on the snow. But it's not, you wouldn't go here with the hip and put the hand down in there. You want your hands up off the snow and still quite level. Cool. Okay, let's find something else here, because that was that day. That's all I shot this week, unfortunately. Okay. Okay. What a beautiful morning this is. Look at that.
Snow looks good. Yeah.
Okay. So this is a level 2 instructor. What would you guys work on with this person? Can you see okay, Tony?
take.
She's rotating, good. So, and you know she's rotating because of why? What are the symptoms? The hip sticks out, doesn't it? So you don't see a nice C shape. You don't see a nice angle there at the hip. It's pretty straight there. It's because she's gone like that, and the hip sticks out versus going like this with the legs and then bending and separating as the term progresses. Good, good, good. That side seems better, doesn't it? Okay, what part of the ski keeps slipping with this skier?
Tail.
Back.
The back of the ski, huh?
And the pivot points kind of forward.
Okay, watch. Okay, so what skill do you think needs to be developed here? You see that, Tony?
Yeah.
Okay,
So we circle
stance, yeah, we gotta fix this person's stance. Because that way of standing, there'd be a lot of pressure on the front of the boot. Here like this, you can see there again, straighten the leg, pressure on the front of the boot. The ski stays flat and the tail of the ski has no weight on it, so the ski just slips out. I wonder too, you know, when I watch this skier, something that comes into my mind, and I'll ask this question, where should your body face when you go skiing? It's a trick question, it's got a trap tied into it. What is he thinking where the body
He
faces?
wants down the hill.
He thinks the body faces down the hill. That's the feeling I get. Everywhere he goes, he tries to keep that body facing down the hill. And down the hill at all costs. Okay?
You also face it where, like in the direction of the turn, really, the new turn.
Sorry?
Does he want to face it in the direction of the new turn?
Okay, so where do you think the body should face?
Momentum pushing.
Yeah, maybe like outside the arc.
If you do really short turns on that, it's a nice pushing the shit there.
Yeah, so if you're doing really short turns, like you watch the World Cup mogul skiers and they go straight down the mountain. Okay, if you want the turn to deflect, then are you facing straight down the hill? Okay, what happens if I want the ski to carry me over here like that, and I'm trying to face down the hill? What kind of gets messed up? What gets messed up? So look here, look. Stand like this. I'll stand like this, all right? I've got the ski on its side, and now I want to face down the hill. Let's just say for the sake of this pole and where I'm standing here, that down the hill is that way. So I want to face down the hill. What's going to happen to my skis? What happens to my skis? They go flat. So if I'm trying to hold a position with my body that faces straight down the hill, I can't edge effectively. So anatomically speaking, I've got to be in the right, there's got to be the right relationship between where my feet are and how my body stacks up on top of the feet in order to allow for effective edging. So, you know, if I go too much that way, I don't edge effectively. And I guess too, if I were to turn too much this way, I don't affect the edges. You know what I'm trying to say. Who's got another beer? Okay, so I think this guy's trying to face down the hill when he skis. I'm going to ask him next time. I know who that is. I know who that is, and I know where he lives. Okay, smooth skier. Okay, so give me some stuff. What's one thing you notice right off the bat?
So, like the back of the ski just.
So the tail moves. Yeah, okay. Tail moves out. Another thing that you notice with this skier, it's pretty good there. Okay, that the way he stands there. Okay. Okay. What about this? The width of the stance? Just it's a narrow stance, isn't it?
Narrow stand.
Okay. And so you said something moves a lot at the start of the turn. What is it?
The tips inside.
The upper
Yes.
body, yeah.
He tips inside. So we'll watch him here, but what this
Rotation.
skier does is he moves the back of the ski like that, quite a lot like this, so he moves the platform out and he moves the body back and inside from that platform. And he's actually really good at skiing like this. This guy is a really good skier using this style of skiing. Okay. So, if we want to change his style, what would we want to teach him? What skill do you think?
Pivoting,
Pivoting.
yeah,
You said that?
yeah,
You said that? Michelle, you said that.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good answer. Yeah, we need to teach him how to turn his legs, don't we? He moves, the way he moves, as I said, he goes like that with the back of the ski, moves the back of the ski out like that, and then the ski eventually gets grip and steers, and as I said, he's back, he's good at skiing in that style. When I do Spice with this skier or Bracage, he has trouble doing it. If I was teaching Bracage, what might I get him to do? Okay, go wider with the legs like this so that he can do this with the legs. And doing this with the legs will allow for what? Angulation and improved, rhymes with trip, edge grip, improved edge grip. Yeah, and then more precise steering. And probably more precise steering, not probably, but more precise steering higher up in the turn. So his skis travel quite a bit and then they start to grab later on. He did his level 4 course in like 1973, but he didn't quite get through. So a pretty good skier, and he does really well with that style of skiing that he's using. It's Jim McConkey right there. Yeah, but that's, you know, that's his style. He's, I don't know, a 65, 70-year-old man, and
That's good,
he's a nice skier, beautiful skier, yeah. Okay? You guys should be getting good at this. You've seen this type of skier before. So, what do we need to work on?
Angulation.
Okay? Before we work on angulation,
Everything she's rotating.
stance. Okay, we need to work on her stance. Look at that. She stands too far forward. She's here. So everywhere she goes, she's moving the ski this way, and the skis are following her. She's pulling the skis down the mountain everywhere she goes. So we need to work on her stance. And I said something to her. I said that she has to engage her glutes when she skis, because she's like this when she skis, and the glutes don't get engaged. And she said that's what her physiotherapist told her. What do you think exercise her physiotherapist told her to do to get those muscles engaged? Squats, good one. Squats. So exercises like this for this skier are going to help, because it's going to get the muscles back here fired up. And squats are great for all of us because it's not far off a ski turn. You need to be able to go through a turn like this and bend this way and engage the muscles, the hamstrings and the glutes that way as you go through the turn. If those things don't fire, you're going to end up like this and resting the shin to the front and then moving the back of the ski like this person is doing. Skis move a lot, Hank. There she goes. See? There she goes. She can't bend. Okay, see how straight the femur is. So she's... Okay. Anyway, she's got her homework, off snow homework for the summer, so that she can start to bend this way, use the big muscles. Okay. Sounding like a broken record here, huh? What do we have to work on with this skier? Stance. Okay, the person's way forward and displacing the back of the ski. Stance. Okay. Stance, and then, so after you've worked stance, what might you work next, do you think, if you were on the skill train? Okay, teach him to stand differently and teach him to pivot. Yeah, pivot the ski from the center, hey? It's a good way to keep going to the side. Have you guys ever gone boot skiing, just skiing around on your ski boots? When you do that, you really figure out, it really comes home, the relationship between how you stand and your ability to turn your legs and turn your feet and steer. If your stance is off, if you're boot skiing and you stand like that, the boot stops, the toe digs in, the boot stops, and you do a face plant. So that's why it'd be nice. We used to have those, what do we call them? They were little skis. They had a name to them. Snow blades.
Snow blade.
We used to have snow blades that you could just put on and go skiing, and there's something good about those, and that is that you don't have much of a front of the ski, you don't have much of a back of the ski, so you have to stay in the middle. And boy, people, if they went skiing with snow blades, their stance would change quickly. You can't stand like that on little snow blades. Or if people did more ice skating, you can't stand like that when you ice skate. Hockey players don't skate around like that. Like this, it just doesn't work. Hockey players skate here, they stand here, they push like this from side to side, because they need to have that so they can stand in the middle and press. And so, but the skis can be our worst enemy, because we have so much there and so much behind that our balance and our stance can be messed up and we still don't fall over. And the only reason we don't fall over is because the front of the ski stops us from falling over. What's the guy's radius like, his turn radius?
Short. Short.
Short, okay. So in terms of the
Shape.
hill, like I did that thing. So in terms of the like the turn being like this, it gets squashed, doesn't it? It's this way. So when this skier skis, he doesn't cover much vertical through the turn. The ski goes like this. So this skier has to be slower timing. I think when I watch this that he's trying to grab the snow. He's trying to go and grab the snow with the ski like this, instead of turning the legs, letting the ski do its thing on the snow, and letting the pressure build as he goes through the turn. Versus, I think he's trying to create pressure and grab the snow, and as a result, the turn gets shortened too much. Okay, what does he show a lot of? Yeah, a lot of rotation there, and it would be connected. So I'd work on his timing and turn shape. Maybe get this skier to follow another skier and try and go in the same tracks. And along with that, I would teach this person to, instead of rotating and pulling the turn through, to let the legs, lower body, lead the turning effort, and then balance and angulate to the outside ski. I'd work on those two things. Okay, you know what we're going to do? We're going to call it. Okay, that's it. We're going a little shorter because you guys are falling asleep, which is okay.
No.
But I am glad that you brought coffees. So your efforts to stay awake were really, really good. So thank you guys, and then we'll see you next week. Thanks.